frankly, I don't really know why. Well, technically, yes, I do know why. But for whatever reason, I just had this sudden urge to just look up stuff that I watched or liked or talked about in the last year. Like last night, I watched a lot of. I watched a lot of Amphibia again, which I mean, it's a show that just came out, but already it still holds up. And now I remember why I'm really excited for part 2 coming out in 2020. The reason why I was feeling like I want to look up stuff again is because yesterday a friend of mine actually shared a link on Facebook that, I did sort of like talk about, but a lot of people, really seem to like it. So, why not? I suppose I can go, elaborate on that a little bit more. But, first things first, happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope everyone had an awesome Monday. Unfortunately, you can't really say the same for the Colts or Colts fans. Ouch. Well, looks like unless the Saints lose a game and the Seahawks or 49ers win a game, the road to the Super Bowl through the NFC is going to go through the Superdome, which is one of the 2 most hostile environments the NFL has to offer. The other is being 12th man. That's Seattle's home field. So, yeah. And I think what technically would make... Here's the thing. I'm trying to theorize, which is technically worse. Because as, loud and, booming as 12th man is, what makes the Superdome worse is because it's a Superdome. It's an enclosed area. Meaning all that sound is just going to stay in that area. And it's going to reverberate. It's going to get, bigger and louder and louder. And I think that might actually be what makes Superdome technically worse. Although, no one's ever going to forget what Marshawn Lynch, a.k.a. Beast Mode, did at 12th man. So, yeah, it's up in the air. But at least that's my theory on the matter. I mean, I could very well totally be wrong about that. But in any case, how about we get into what I was about to discuss, and that was the link that I shared on Facebook yesterday, and that is that Legends of the Hidden Temple is going to be making a return. And it's going to be this time more for adults. Now, what does that have to do with me? Well, to be perfectly honest, and I am being 100% real here, Legends of the Hidden Temple was my favorite game show growing up. It really was. That show had everything going for it. It was on Nickelodeon, which, we were kids competing on that, so, of course, that would appeal to anyone watching Nickelodeon. It had physical challenges, not as physical as what you would see on, Global Guts, or not as messy as you would see on Double Dare, but, it was somewhere in the middle. Really any kid could do these challenges, and, they'd be fine, is what I'm trying to get at here. Outside of that, it also had not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 teams in assorted colors. They were all in teams of 2. And that was actually more appealing because assorted colors means that more and more people are potentially going to see their favorite color and immediately root for them. And as I said many times in the past, when I was growing up, my favorite color was green. So you see a team known as the Green Monkeys, you can bet I'm gonna be rooting for them. Yep. I'll never forget that when I was little, I had no idea how to say jaguars and iguanas. But yeah, like it was the red jaguars, the blue barracudas, the green monkeys, the orange iguanas, the purple parrots, and the silver snakes. Now, several of those teams had alliteration going for them, so that's really cool. I mean, nowadays I don't really have a favorite team from Legends of the Hidden Temple. I mean, as long as, the competition is good and, the physical challenges are fun to watch and, the team ends up winning in the end, that's really all that matters to me. Although, that's not to say the show didn't have any problems. I mean, I had no idea that there was actually a team name called Silver because, let's be real here, Silver would sort of invoke that it's shiny, and that was just pure plain gray. But that's neither, it's technically neither here nor there. I had a similar problem with the original Game Boy when they came out with different colors. I'm like, it's white. Everyone's like, no, it's silver. This is literally a shade of white. It's not as white as this shade of white right here, but it's still white. But again, I was a dumb kid. What can I tell you? Let's see, what else did it have? Interesting lore behind the object that you need to find in the Hidden Temple, or if you want to call it that. I mean, some of the lore made absolutely no sense. Seriously, the way they were finding different sort of objects to be found in the Hidden Temple, I would not have been surprised if they came up with an episode where Abraham Lincoln's hat was in the temple. That actually would have been for a pretty good challenge to look for. And then there was going into the Hidden Temple itself. You had stuff like the pit. You had rooms like the pit of the pendulum, the dark forest. That one would scare me because the temple guards came out solid object looking trees. That one scared me when I was a kid. If I was in the dark forest, I would have been and the temple guard comes out and you that's always so bad. But I think we can all agree that the most memorable room in the Hidden Temple was the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. Yeah. Yeah, I had to say it like that. I just did. And I think what was the icing on this already delicious cake was the fact that you not only had a charismatic host in Kurt Fogg, who seriously, when you're a kid, you want to meet your heroes. I wanted to meet that guy when I was a kid. He seemed really cool. He was he was my all-time favorite game show host. Yes, even more so than Mike O'Malley, Alex Trebek, or Mark Summers. But it's not by a long shot. I mean, it's all pretty close. But Kurt Fogg is the man. He is. Not only did you have a charismatic host, but you also had an equally iconic mascot in Olmec, voiced by voiceover acting legend D. Bradley Baker. Now, who is D. Bradley Baker? Well, he is a voiceover actor, but more importantly, he's actually done a lot of really fun, really great roles that, a lot of people, if I were to tell you what they were, you'd be like, oh, wow, that's him? Wow. For starters, if any of you guys watch American Dad, D. Bradley Baker is the voice of Klaus. Yeah. Any fans of the Fairly Odd Parents? He was also the kid with the boil. That was darn, what was his name? I think his name was Elmer. I forget. But yeah, he was he was the kid with the boil. But more importantly, and this is actually what makes him very interesting, is that like Frank Welker before him, he is actually capable of making animal noises. Yeah, so if you watch a cartoon in which you see an animal that is making actual animal sounding noises, it's likely D. Bradley Baker or Frank Welker. I mean, I can actually, if any of you guys saw the movie Box Trolls, D. Bradley Baker was a couple of those trolls. So yeah, that's another role he's had. But I think one of his most famous roles among all fans And I'm sure I'm probably going to bring up a lot of happy memories. Is on Avatar: The Last Airbender, he did the animal sounds for Appa and Momo. Yeah, that was D. Bradley Baker. Seriously, like he is the second coming of Frank Welker to me. He is. I mean, if you saw my movies on Frozen 2, I went a little bit about how Scooby-Doo in the movie Scoob coming out in 2020 is still voiced by Frank Welker. Like, yeah. And I told you, how Frank Welker is as famous as what he is. For those of you guys who need a quick recap, some of Frank Welker's most famous roles include Megatron from the 80s cartoon, and for that matter, Megatron in Transformers Prime. It came out a few years ago. That was really awesome. He's been the current voice of Fred Jones and Scooby-Doo forever now. And I mentioned animal sounds. Guess what? Did you guys see the movie Aladdin when you were a kid? The animated one, not the live-action one that came out this year that was bad. I mean, the 2D animated one. Frank Welker was the voice of Abu, the monkey. Yeah. Seriously, I am a huge fan of voiceover work. And for the most part, unless you know for a fact you can school me, I will school you. Trust me. Oh, I'd rather just talk about it in a nice, calm, collective way. But yes, I am that much of a voiceover acting fan. I will nerd out on anyone. Trust me. So, with that being said, Legends of the Hidden Temple, it's coming back, and I am really excited. You know, if it has a lot of those elements that are there, the teams in assorted colors, the physical challenges, the temple rooms, specifically the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. Yeah. He always said it that's how Olmec always said it too, the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. I mean, we look back and laugh on it now, but in an awesome way, you know what I mean? That's awesome. So, the most important thing is if they can get Kurt Fogg. Well, actually, before I continue on, Nickelodeon did make a TV movie about Legends of the Hidden Temple that it was okay, but I'd rather see the game show itself. Suffice it to say, actually, they did get Kurt Fogg to cameo in that movie, and D. Bradley Baker to be the voice of Olmec again for that movie. So, yeah. I couldn't complain, so I can't really complain. But if they can get Kurt Fogg to host Legends of the Hidden Temple again, or at the very least, maybe be a consultant or producer, or be in the show to some capacity, and if they can get D. Bradley Baker to be the voice of Olmec again, or get another reputable voiceover actor, I mean, there's lots of them, but, this really was D. Bradley Baker's, thing. Come to think of it, it might actually be one of D. Bradley Baker's first roles. So, it's something really special. Kind of like Heifer was for Tom Kenny on Rocko's Modern Life. Again, voiceover acting fan. I will nerd out on anyone. But again, if they can get Kurt Fogg to be the host of Legends of the Hidden Temple again, and if they can get D. Bradley Baker to be the voice of Olmec, I'm totally in. Let's do it. Let's watch it. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. So, I don't really know any of the details because, again, I just saw the article and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's going to be pretty sweet. Whew. Actually, you know what I will do? Let me just look up something for a moment. Where is it? Here. Sorry, itching my nose. Anything? Okay. It doesn't actually launch until April 6th of 2020. Oh, that's going to be a fun video for me to do. So, yeah, I cannot wait. Mark your calendar. April 6th, 2020, and this is just what hearsay, but you know what? I will, some guy, I'm reading some Twitter posts about it. Some guy just said, please hold while I dedicate my entire life to being cast. You know what? I was such a fan of the show, it didn't even occur to me that I myself could actually be on the show one day. Maybe I could be cast. That'd be interesting to watch. And hey, you'd see me on another platform outside of this, so yeah, maybe. Like, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button, follow me on social media platforms, on those locations, YouTube. I am very humble I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I am hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And remember, if you guys ever want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here. Till engineer, I'll do the other ear this time. And I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.